All right, welcome everybody. We are at the top of the hour, so we're going to get started. My name is Emily McGurl, and I am our admissions coordinator for online programs. Welcome to Brown University Online Master's Program webinar. So today we're going to talk about why Brown, why online, and why now. So for our agenda today, we're going to discuss why Brown. We're going to talk a little bit about the history and the mission of the university. We're going to talk about why online. So you've all chosen to learn a little bit more about obtaining your master's degree online. So we're going to talk about our world-class curriculum and why now. So our programs are built for today. So we're going to talk about why now is the best time to go back for furthering your education and why online and why at Brown. And then we're going to give a quick admissions overview for the fall 2024 cohort and the spring 2025 cohort. And then we're going to get a chance to answer your questions live. So you should all have a Q&A option. So if you put your answers in the chat, we'll be able to answer them at the end. We'll read them out loud and make sure that we get the answers to your questions. So you'll notice at the bottom of the slides, there is an important deadline section. So this webinar, we are going to be talking about our Online MPH program and our new Online Biostatistics program. So you'll see the application deadlines at the bottom in the brown bar. So these have deadlines for the programs for the MPH deadline and also the MPH and biostatistics deadline. So keep in mind, if you are interested in applying, those deadlines are there at the bottom. So with that, we are going to meet our presenters. So today with us, we have Dan Nazarino, the inaugural Associate Director of the Online MPH program. We have Matt Wallace, who is our Assistant Director of Student Recruitment and Marketing, and Kim Pulowski, who is one of our Brown University enrollment coaches. So with that, we are going to, so if there's any way that you all can chat with us, so whether it's the Q&A or the chat button, we love to know why Brown. So if you can submit your answers through the chat, however you're able to chat with us, that would be wonderful. And I'm going to turn it over to Matt Wallace to talk about why Brown.
Thank you so much, Emily, for that awesome introduction, and welcome everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're joining us on this big, beautiful blue marble we call Earth. So excited for you to be here. These programs are amazing. So I'm just checking the Q&A and the chat to see if anybody put in their reasons, and I don't see any right now. So let me give you some reasons. So we were founded in 1764. Brown University is extremely old. It's been around a long, long time, seventh oldest college in the United States. But the School of Public Health is actually really young. So we've got this cool combination of tradition with innovation and the newness of the School of Public Health. So we're actually ranked in the top 15 of all public health schools in the nation through U.S. News and World Report. And those rankings just came out this year. So it's a very prestigious school. Academically, it's known across the world as one of the top academic institutions. And it's also a very collaborative space. We're known as kind of the most progressive out of all of the Ivy League schools. So you're really going to get the mentorship and help and support that you need. Not only, I'll fix it in just a second, okay, baby? Sorry, that's my little baby daughter wants to join the webinar. And Meadow, if you could say why Brown, that would be great. Can you say why Brown? Why Brown? Well, that's a good question, Meadow. I'll tell you why Brown. Because it's an institution that's going to set you up for success. No matter what you want to do, if you want to go into a degree in biostatistics or a degree in public health, we're going to help you through it. All right, we can go to the next slide. So why Brown for your MPH? I'll go ahead and turn this over to Nithya or Jen.
So Nithya and I can go, but I'll go first. So why Brown for your MPH? So Brown is one of the only schools of public health to use an innovative case-based learning curriculum approach. So we weave in case studies throughout all of the curriculum. For example, I teach in the program, and so some of the cases that I have used around some certain public health cases around COVID. My colleagues have used in their courses in communications or in leadership. So we thread through, we use the cases in all different ways so that we can learn from them and from different angles, and then learn public health by doing public health. So this is where students are required to do an internship or a practicum. So it's 145 hours of where we would help you to secure a practicum throughout your time here at Brown. And then I'm going to turn to Nithya.
Thank you so much, Jen. Hi, everyone. I'm Nithya Ramesh, and I manage the MPH programs at Brown. I think and I'm an alum of the in-person program at Brown as well. So I think I can attest to the fact that we are a high-touch program. We pride ourselves on being available to students. We usually respond to student queries within a single business day, and we have a lot of events, and the sense of community that's fostered in our program, I think, is unique to our program.
All right, so for this, I am going to turn it over to Matt or Jen for why Brown for your master's in biostatistics.
Well, actually, Chow is also on the call. So if Chow would want to talk about, he's the academic faculty director for the biostats program. But if he can't join us, then I can go ahead and jump in. We have stellar faculty also in the biostats department. This particular degree is really focused on health data science. So that's the concentration. That's the difference between the in-person program and the online program. Up-to-date methods, data-driven technologies, and similar to the online MPH, very much focused on solutions, like building solutions, using your capstone to think through, yes, the public health challenge, the biostats issue that you are going to be using biostatistics for, but then coming up with actual solutions. And that's what this program is very much focused on. Any other things that our team wants to add? Tao, if you could join, if not, that's okay. We'll make sure that students get your email address, your contact information so they can reach out to you. All right.
Yeah, I just want to add just one thing about biostats. So biostatistics is one of those things where like the link between statistics and biology is definitely not a new one. I mean, this has been around a long time. In fact, you could even say that biostatistics was the very first health data science. However, the sheer amount of data and then the ways that data is being used to inform decisions in the world is like unprecedented right now. So it's just an incredible time to get into this field and really make a difference. And you're not going to be a number cruncher, you're a designer here at Brown. So just a really great opportunity to get into a super fast growing field and learn the techniques and the skills needed to thrive.
Thank you. So next we're going to highlight some of our MPH faculty. So I'm going to turn it over to Jen and Nithya.
Sure. So we're very proud of the faculty that teach in our program. And so just a quick overview. Alex Glacier, she teaches our course focused on leadership, public health and leadership. Students really love her class because she has her MPH, but she also is a law professor in addition to teaching in public health. And she is a CEO and president of a nonprofit organization focused on organ and blood donations and transplants. So people really love her course because she's teaching leadership in real time. She's actually running her organization and president of her organization called New England Donor Services, and students really gravitate to her pragmatic experiences as a leader. Michael Harvey, he is a well-trained policy faculty member in the really focused on healthcare policy, both national and global, and he teaches 2 courses that brings in comparing the US system to other healthcare systems and making sure he brings in a much more global perspective. I teach the social determinants of health course, where I intersect the issues of race, gender, class, issues around immigration, sexuality, and how those type of social identities impact one's health and well-being. And I'll turn to Nithya to talk about the other faculty.
Thank you, Jen. We also have Shamariel Robertson, who teaches the communications course in the program. Dr. Robertson comes with a lot of experience, previously having worked at the Florida State Department of Health. She was responsible for some of the work that went around during the COVID pandemic, and she brings real-world experience to our program for how Florida navigated that situation during that time. We also have Hannah Ziobrowski, who is the instructor who developed the course in epidemiology. Hannah also was an alum of Brown's program, and then she did a postdoc at Harvard, and we're now lucky to have her come back to our program to help teach the epidemiology course. Dr. Karen Andes is the director of the MPH programs at Brown University, and she teaches the survey and qualitative analysis methods. She and Professor Monica Doshi both have over 30 years of experience doing survey research methods and qualitative research. And Dr. Monica Doshi teaches interventions and evaluations. Monica has experience both in the US as well as in India, Kenya, and she brings a global health perspective to her courses in our program.
And I also want to add that Nithya Ramesh, Dr. Nithya Ramesh, will also soon be faculty with us. She has had over 10 years experience as a dentist, but also getting her PhD at Harvard. And we are lucky to have her also here at Brown. She did get her MPH at Brown. And Nithya, if we could talk a little bit more about just your PhD background and the courses maybe you hopefully will be teaching.
Thank you, Jen. Yes, so I will soon be teaching actually the social determinants of health course this summer at Brown. I come with experience in mixed methods research. My area of expertise in my PhD is oral health policy and epidemiology, and I'm excited to share just content related to health policy and epidemiology and how that ties into social determinants of health in our program. Prior to this, I have experience teaching at both Harvard and Dartmouth, and I helped launch even the Dartmouth hybrid MPH program as well. I'm excited to be here.
Great, and we are so happy to welcome Dr. Ramesh as faculty this summer. So now I'll turn to Matt to talk about some of the biostatistics faculty highlights.
Yeah, so we have some of the best faculty in the world. That's my objective point of view right there. But Tao Liu, I'll tell you this, so I work in admissions and recruitment, and whenever we were recruiting for biostatistics, every single one of the students wanted to talk to Tao and talk about Tao's research and talk about what he was doing. He's one of the most beloved faculty members that we have. And just somebody that is at the top of his field as well. So, he encompasses essentially what our faculty are like at Brown, which are people that are at the top of their field and love working with students and love mentoring students and love watching people become successful. Speaking of love, there's probably nobody I love more in the entire school than Stavroula Chrysanthopoulos. She is our assistant professor of biostatistics and the director of the biostatistics program. She's just incredible. Her research, she was actually a student here as well. And then, of course, Crystal Linkletter, who's the adjunct assistant professor of biostatistics. Does anybody want to add anything for our biostatistics professors?
I just want to also add Crystal Linkletter, Professor Crystal Linkletter teaches in our online MPH program. It is one of the top rated courses in our program. She really, for those that are looking to do the online MPH in this talk, there are students that may question their math skills. She's really able to break down biostatistics and talk about problem sets in a way that a lot of our students, even though they haven't taken a math course in years or, are really feeling maybe a little insecure about their background in math, she really guides you through that process. She really is a wonderful faculty member and professor and teacher that really understands where you're at and brings you and works alongside you to do well in your class.
And then I will turn it over to Matt to talk about Dean John.
Sure. I mean, you probably recognize this guy because he's been on TV a lot. So I think he was mentioned, I think Dean John was mentioned over 10,000 times from the years of 2020 to 2021 in the news. The reason why, he's a pandemic expert. He's been around a long time. He's had groundbreaking research on Ebola and of course with COVID. I think he's in the top 2% of most cited. He's got over 300 publications. I don't think I've read 300 books in my life, let alone had 300 publications. He's like one of the most cited, authors out there. And of course, you might know this as well. The Biden administration recruited him to become the COVID-19 response coordinator in 22, and describing him as one of the leading public health experts in America. So he's an innovator. He's a good leader, and we're lucky to have him on our team. Some other awesome innovators and great leaders. Dean Aubert, who has done it all. He's worked as the chief of epidemiology at the CDC, specifically working with diabetes research. He's done academia. He's been a professor. He's been in the private sector. He's worked for Bayer. So he always likes talking about, all the different kind of options. Sometimes people can be stuck in academia for their entire career. So it's nice to have Ron here that has his experience in both the private sector and in government as well. And I always talk about Ron too, he's like a coaching, I don't know if you guys are sports fans out there, but it's like a coaching tree. He knows everyone. So it's like, we met the dean of the University of Michigan. He's like, oh yeah, I mentored him. And then, he talks to somebody, oh yeah, he was my mentee, And so it's cool to see that mentorship kind of tree and how that forms. And Francesca, Dr. Baudouin, she is a emergency room physician. And she's also an innovator because she actually started the first mobile addiction treatment unit in the nation. So she's an incredible person too. And she actually also went here to Brown. So you see people that have come to Brown stay here at Brown because of the culture and the collaboration and the impact that you can make in the world.
I just also want to add, they're just really good humans. Like we've really enjoyed, and I really do mean this. They're just wonderful people to work alongside. They really do care about our students. They really do care about your experience and the teaching that we provide you and the research and expertise that, to make sure that you walk away from our program feeling really strong, a strong feeling like you really had a great experience. So again, they're just really good people, good humans to work with.
All right, so now we're going to talk a little bit more about why online. So both of the programs that we're talking about today, both our MPH program and the biostatistics program, are offered fully online. So the programs are, made for working professionals like yourselves. They're made to be accessible. They're made to be flexible. So we do have asynchronous work in the program. However, there are optional but highly encouraged synchronous sessions for the students to join. And affordability, we do offer merit-based scholarships that are awarded to students a certain percentage. So merit-based scholarships are evaluated while your application is being evaluated. So if you do choose to apply, you will be able to, know about your admissions decision and also know if you were awarded a merit-based scholarship. More control. So you are, in control of your coursework. So there is options for full-time for 2 courses per semester. There's options for part-time if you only want to go 1 course per semester. And then we do have a fast track option that you're able to do to complete the program in a shorter amount of time. So you just have more control over your education and more flexibility for where you want to do it. If you need to take a leave of absence from the program, you are able to do so. So we really do have flexibility. It really is meant for you. And then Dean Jha, who Matt was talking about previously, is a big champion of the program, very supportive of the program. And it's bringing in a lot of people who are not able to move to Providence for their master's program. So we're really bringing in people from, all over the country and all over, different backgrounds in public health or not in public health. So it really is a good preparation for a changing workforce to get, everybody coming together, talking about public health. There's a really wide variety of diverse opinions in the program. So really great place to be. So we are going to talk about why now. So I'm going to turn it over to Jen and Nithya to talk a little bit about why now for public health.
I can definitely start, and then Nithya, if you want to jump in. We're in our moment. I mean, yes, COVID, some folks would say we're post-COVID, but there's still the ramifications of what happened during that time that we are still dealing with, the consequences of COVID, and just the other, climate change and all the other issues that remain, right? The public health challenges around environmental health, gun violence, health equity, mental health, racism in health, and of course, social determinants of health. And so these are topics that we integrate into our programs for sure. It is important for you to be up to date about the newest research, the newest reports that come out, that come from our own faculty, as well as our colleagues from around the country and the world. We definitely bring in literature to make sure folks understand the healthcare crises that's not just going on in the US, but at different parts of the world, and making sure that we are well informed. And back to what Emily was mentioning, we have over 30 students coming from over 30 states right now that have joined our program, over 8 different countries. And that leads to discussions, whether it's in the discussion boards or it's actually in our weekly sync sessions, just a really robust discussion on these particular topics and how they impact different countries and different states differently. And that makes us better informed public health practitioners and scholars. We need to work across, different, not just like folks that are interested in public health, or have a background, a background in public health. We really want to bring in talent from other sectors that are interested in learning public health so that we get your opinions, we get your expertise. We really think that public health is an interdisciplinary degree that can really attract folks that are invested in health equity, invested in healthcare for everyone, and just having that type of dialogue so that we can make the health and well-being, or help to make the health and well-being better for others. I'll turn to Nithya if you wanted to share anything else about why now.
Thank you, Jen. I just want to echo what you said about how this is really the time to be working on these issues. The pandemic led to a lot of interest in public health right now. There are a lot of different careers that are opening up related to public health research, related to emergency preparedness. We have the Pandemic Center at Brown. That's a testament to how the focus of public health care delivery is changing. So there's many different industries that are now looking into intersectionality, how we can look at technology and its intersection with public health, how we look at healthcare with a public health lens. So I think the time is now to be focusing on strengthening our public health knowledge in the field.
So now we're going to talk a little bit about the job growth. I'll turn it to Nithya and Jen.
Sure, I can just continue. So as I was saying, according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, public health and health data science jobs are particularly in high demand right now. Health education specialists, there's been a 7% growth projected in the next 10 years. Public health service managers, there's about an 88% increase, and biostatisticians and data scientists are seeing a 30% job increase. So there are many different avenues you can get into after you complete your MPH programs. That you can get into consulting areas, like in companies like Deloitte, Navigant. So many different consulting companies have come up in the last few years, in addition to those that are established like Deloitte. And there's also state departments of health that are putting a lot of effort into thinking about their communities and how they can strengthen their communities through public health efforts. There's academic research that is going on. The US government it puts out a lot of grants that you can apply for if you're interested in the field of academia and research. And really, our program, the MPH program, is geared towards people who are looking to advance in their careers. So if you're somebody who is already working in public health and you just want to take that next step in your career, this would be the right opportunity for you. I'll turn this over to Jen if you have anything to add.
No, I think you summed it up perfectly. But in just addition, Nithya, folks that are in public health already or are part of a different industry and want to get into public health, we do have a work requirement, or we suggest that you have at least 2 years of work experience. Just because we want you to come in with your experience and your professional background, and just having that background just leads to wonderful discussions during our weekly sync sessions.
All right, so we've heard from Jen, Nithya, and Matt about the program. We've heard about a little bit more about Brown, a little bit more about why now. So now I'd like to turn it over to Kim to talk about the application checklist. Kim is one of our enrollment coaches. So Kim, take it away.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So this checklist actually does apply to both the online MPH and the online biostatistics program. So everybody needs to have a bachelor's degree. You need to have 2 years of professional work experience prior to starting the program. Obviously, that would be reflected in your resume or your CV. Either option is absolutely great, whatever choice you decide to use. You need 3 letters of recommendation. And so these can be a combination of academic and professional, or just professional. Really, it kind of depends on where you are in your career. Some people are still new enough that they've kept connections with their professors, maybe their mentor throughout college. That's great. Some people are a little bit more removed from that, and it would be easier just to get professional letters. That's great too. So basically, these are super important, and I can't really underestimate the impact that these have. Committee reads every single letter of recommendation, and so you want to choose very wisely the people that you're going to ask. They need to be able to kind of sing your praises, if you will. You want to make sure they are elaborate on your qualities, what would make you a great candidate for either the MPH or the biostat program. But they need to know you, I guess is my point, is you really want to pick people that know you and can really highlight those qualities about you. A personal statement. This is a chance for a committee to get to know you a little bit better. So it's a little bit more three-dimensional than maybe your resume or those letters might be. This is you speaking about your own passion for public health, talking about what your goals may be in public health. They definitely want to know that you have an understanding of kind of your overall direction maybe that you're going to go. Obviously that may change throughout the program, and that's totally fine, but you want to at least have some kind of idea of what you want to do in public health in the community that you want to impact. I can tell you clearly that the director and the faculty involved in these programs are all about helping the community to be better and taking care of one another. So there's a very strong humanity element in both of these programs, actually. So personal statement, and we can always talk to you more about that. So I'm an enrollment coach. I have several fellow enrollment coaches. We are always delighted to speak to you guys. If you have more questions about your own personal situation, we can offer some strong guidance in that area. The nice thing is we only need unofficial copies of your transcripts, but we need them from everywhere that you have gone and taken even one class. Even if it's not transferred into your degree-bearing school, that's okay. The committee still wants to see them, but we only need unofficial copies. If you are accepted into the program, at that point, you'll be asked to provide official copies of your transcripts. Application fee, it is $100. For either one of those applications. The nice thing is there's usually some perks and early application deadline benefits and things like that. Again, we can help give you some guidance through that. For international students, you may be asked to provide proof of English language proficiency. So there's a TOEFL or there's IELTS. Those are the 2 exams we'll accept. And then we would also need to have you do a transcript evaluation if you haven't already done that. And as listed on the screen, WES tends to be the most popular company, but we also accept transcript evaluations from Spantran and from ECE. So if you need to, hear about that again, that's fine. Again, talk to one of us. We'll be happy to give you some very unique, specific guidance to your situation. So once all of these documents are on file, we send it immediately over to committee to start that review process. And typically speaking, the turnaround will be somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks on decisions. And I think it was Emily that talked about it earlier. When you get your decision back, if you are awarded one of those merit-based scholarships, you'll be told at the same time. So you get all of that information up front and then can really make the best decision for yourself at that point.
Perfect. Thank you, Kim.
I just wanted to add, thank you, Kim. That was so that you covered everything. I just wanted to just quickly also state is that we really do believe in conducting holistic reviews. So what Kim was saying, we do read your letters of rec. And so you really want folks that can really talk about you, brag about you, talk about your strengths in public health or biostatistics, why you want to do this program, why now? Why is this so integral for you now in your career, right? So you do want to be thoughtful about who you decide to write these letters for you. Also, your personal statement. We comb through that personal statement because it really matters to us. Like your intentions for like, how do you want to serve other people? How do you want to impact the world through public health or by statistics, right? So we really do read the personal statements and just conduct a holistic review in the sense that some students have reached or applicants have reached out to me and said, oh, well, what if my GPA is not like you get a little nervous about your GPA. You can write an addendum to us and, we can add that to part of your application explaining, well, and applicants have, and have gotten into the program. You just let us know what happened during that time. And that's okay. We want to know you holistically. So feel free to attach that into your application as well. All right.
And if there's any additional information that you can provide that can talk to those trends, like let's say, for example, you haven't taken enough courses in quantitative, but you have taken some Coursera courses, or if your day-to-day work, you're doing a lot of data analysis, you're creating reports, make sure that you state that either in your personal statement or in the application questions, or get recommenders who can attest to that in their letters of recommendation so that we can use that to advocate for you to be admitted into our program.
Absolutely. All right. So now is the portion for our live Q&A. So if you do have questions, please put them in the Q&A box. I see we have our first one from Princess. It says, I applied already and will be completing my bachelor's in August of 2024. Will a decision be based on my unofficial transcript since all other requirements have been met, or is it going to be on pause until I get my degree and send official transcript?
So yes, I can answer this one. A decision will be made based on unofficial transcripts, but we do need the official transcripts to reach us before the start of the program. So that's the answer to that question. Princess, I know that you also had a second question about the maximum amount of time that you have to complete the program. So students can do this program there's a standard load of 2 courses a term. We have 6 terms, and I'm assuming that you're talking about the Online MPH program. So there are 6 semesters, and each semester you take 2 credit-bearing courses for the standard plan. You can fast track this if you think that you want to try and finish your program in as little as 16 months. I will say that is a very strong, if you are somebody who has the time, who is not working full time, and you're able to take on about 60 hours of work a week, then you can, I think, be able to do the fast track option. But students get about 5 years. So let's say you do the program part-time. So that means you do this over 4 years. The 2-year program becomes 4 years. And then you have an additional year if you've taken a leave of absence at some point, or if you've deferred your admission by a year. So you totally get 5 years to complete the program. But we can work with you to sort of reduce the length of the program or increase the length of the program. Just reach out to us and we'll be happy to create a custom plan of study for you.
Perfect. All right. So our next question comes from Lucas. Lucas asks, what are some examples of the projects the students have completed during their MPH at Brown?
I can talk about this just based off my experience. So for my project that I did, I worked at the Rhode Island State Department of Health. As a dentist, I worked with them on their sealants program, and we looked at which schools have the Rhode Island sealant program and were they serving the population at need? So, and we determined need by looking at students who are covered by a free or reduced meal plan at school. And we created a GIS map that was then published live on their website. And we tried to see, are those in need getting this sealant program for them? But there are similar programs like this. I know people work at their local community centers to do a needs assessment at that community center. You can work on data plans. You can work on surveys of different populations. I think, Jen, maybe you can talk about a couple of your students' examples.
Sure. So some of our students also, like some of my students, I have a dual faculty position at the Nelson Center for Entrepreneurship. So some of our students actually want to work with alongside or work on a healthcare startup. So we're happy to help you through that process if that's something you're interested in, and how do you build a practicum around that. We have students that are working in state government. So you can actually do your practicum at your place of work, right? So where you're currently at, whether it's a healthcare system or at a nonprofit organization, or you can take this time, the 145 hours to say, you know what, I really am interested in learning about this part of public health. Let me take this time to figure out if that's something I really want to get into. And so that's that moment where you can also just kind of spread your wings, so to speak. Like, so, think about other interests you have in public health and test it out. And doing a practicum, 145-hour practicum, gives you that insider's perspectives, give you enough knowledge to know if that's the career, if that's where you want to take your public health degree.
And we do have a dedicated field placement coordinator. So her position really assists with this. She doesn't place you at these internship sites. We leave that up to the students, because each individual student has their own specific needs, and we want to be as flexible as possible for your interests. But our field placement coordinator helps you with the logistical aspect of this, like reaching out to the preceptors. We provide email templates of what you can send to prospective sites for, hey, I'm interested in this work that you're doing. Can you help me with XYZ? This is what I have for my internship requirements. Would you be able to help me out? So we can provide those templates. We can make connections. If there's a researcher at Brown or a research center at Brown that you're interested in working in, we can help make those introductions for you as well.
All right, we have a few more questions that came in. So the next question is, how much time can I expect to dedicate each week to coursework?
So the average is somewhere between 12 to 15 hours per course per week. So again, there are some courses, like I would say I personally struggle with biostats, so I would budget for more time for that course. But courses like communications and leadership come a little more easy. So that takes a little bit of lesser time. But again, when there are assignments due, I may be spending more time than on a regular week when I don't have anything due and it's just a discussion board post. So I would say on average, it's between 12 to 15 hours of work per course per week. That also includes readings, attending one synchronous session each week. So every week, each course, there's a 1 hour long synchronous session followed by 30 minutes of Q&A. And this is, in addition to this, the faculty also hold live sessions where it's like office hours and you can drop in and ask them questions.
All right, our next question that came in is, what is the size of each cohort?
So that just depends, right? So right now our summer cohort will be about 25 to 30 students that you come in with your cohort. But you may be joining certain courses where there are other students that are also taking those courses because you're in a custom plan of study. But we have a cohort model, and a lot of our students tend to keep in touch with their cohort, the cohort they started with. They build a community with them. They build out study sessions with each other. But for the fall cohort, we can expect anywhere to 50 to 100 students who want to join us. And also we have a spring intake as well, and about 20-30 students will join us then. So it just really depends on which semester you decide to join.
All right, the next two questions are for Kim. So what is the difference between the priority application deadline and the final application deadline?
Okay, thank you. So we have a few different deadlines set for each start date. There's always going to be an early action deadline, a priority deadline, and a final deadline. So the easiest one to address is the final deadline. That is it. No more applications. accepted beyond that final deadline. The priority deadline in this case for fall of 24, and I feel a little goofy saying this, but it's tomorrow. And the benefit to that is actually the application fee is waived this time around. So quite honestly, the earlier deadlines that you meet means the decision is going to come back much faster for you. So remember, once all of your documents are on file, we immediately send it to committee to start that review process. And then typically speaking, 6 to 8 weeks is when you get your decision back. With our early action deadlines, the application fee is going to be waived. So there's just different perks per different deadlines. And like I said, tomorrow's the priority deadline for the online MPH. I've seen people do it. Quite honestly, I've seen people do it in a matter of a few hours. So it's really just takes some focus and determination, and you can get it done and have that application fee waived.
Great. And then our next question for Kim is, what do I need in order to qualify to have my application fee waived?
So definitely there are different, like I said, the early action deadline for any of our starts is going to automatically waive the application fee. But if you are looking to apply for fall, let's just say, for example, you're looking to apply for fall for the online MPH, and you don't think you can get all your stuff done by tomorrow, by the priority deadline, when you go to submit, there's actually a link on that final page that you can click on. You can submit an application fee waiver request. They'll take up to 3 business days to make that decision. And there's just different clubs or businesses that you've been a part of, things like that, that may qualify you. And then they give you an option if you don't meet any of those on the list. There may be something else that you've done that you could say, hey, I feel like I've earned this application fee waiver. Would you consider it? And so just keep in mind that's usually a 3 business day decision, and they'll get an email back to you. And if you are awarded an application fee waiver, then they give you a code that you put in, and that just zeroes out the balance for you.
All right. And we're going to take a pause on questions. I see that Tal has joined us. So Tal, if you don't mind, if you could introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your research interests.
Hi, I'm Tao Liu. I'm the director of this new online biostudies master program. And sorry, I'm traveling today, so I just went to the security. And thank you so much, Matt and Jin, to speak about biostudies on behalf of me. And for me, a little bit about myself. I joined Brown about 15 years ago. And I've been doing research in very different fields, like cognition, design clinical trial, machine learning. And biostudies is a very fast-growing field, and we have a lot of applications for the in-person program. And this online program will bring this the Brown training to a broad audience, like for students across the country, around the world. And I think this is a great opportunity to extend the broad education to a broad student body. And I'll be happy to answer any questions related to the biostudies. Thanks.
Great. And we did drop Tal's email in the chat. So if you need it again, we can put it in the chat again, but we're really excited about our new online biostatistics program. So the next question is, when does the spring 2025 application open? It actually opens tomorrow, May 1st. So if you are interested in spring of 2025, you can apply starting tomorrow. And then our next question is, the online MPH program does seem like it's a more general as opposed to the in-person option, which has concentrations. What is the advantage of that?
I can go. So about the generalist program, we've attracted students that just really want a broad overview of what public health is, right? So we have a class in biostatistics, epidemiology, social determinants of health, leadership courses, policy courses. But I do want to emphasize that our program unlike others, bring in 2 leadership courses and a communications course. This was something that was brought forth by Dean Jha. He was the COVID-19 coordinator. So when we were talking about the courses we wanted to particularly bring into this program, besides the foundational courses, is really focused on leadership. We want to help you to become the future leaders in public health, hence why we have brought in 2 courses, as well as how do we communicate? I mean, they're with each other and making sure that public health knowledge, public health data, that it is communicated in such a way that communities around us really understand the data that we are publishing, the research that we are talking about, to make sure that they are well informed. As we know, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and it's incumbent upon us as public health practitioners and leaders and researchers to really ensure that our research and our teaching is not just just in these bubbles, that we really need to know and learn how to better communicate, public health data, public health research. Nithya, anything, I mean, because I know you went to the in-person, but I do think
back when I did the
go for it.
back when I did the in-person program, that was a generalist program. So I did do the generalist track. Now they've taken away the generalist from the in-person and it's more concentrations. I think the advantage of doing a generalist program is because, again, I went directly from dental school to do the MPH program. And at that time, I didn't know which area of public health I wanted to focus on. I ended up leaning towards epidemiology and taking more classes in epidemiology. And I realized that I wanted to become an epidemiologist, but I think I needed to go through the process of being in a generalist program to help me identify which area I wanted to be in. And I think that's the same with many of our students in our online program. They come in thinking they want to do one thing. Like, we have people who are working in a company for social determinants of health, but once they come into our program, they realize they actually like epidemiology or they like health policy, and they move into those. And the internship is a great way to really expose yourself to research or to doing work in those areas, to test it out and see if that's a field you might be interested in expanding. And I think another strength of our generalist program is the courses that we have on leadership and communication. This program was designed for people who are looking to be leaders in public health. So I think that focus of coursework in leadership and communications really strengthens your ability to be a leader in public health.
Thank you. So I just wanted to reiterate something that Nithya had put in the chat. You can also still apply for our fall intake for the Online MPH program. Tomorrow is just the priority deadline, but the final deadline is June 1st. So you do have a month to still get your application in for fall 2024. And then our next question is, what is the access to professors like? From my understanding of other online MPH programs, it may be difficult to cultivate a connection with professors due to the online nature. Some only allow you to talk to TAs, etc.
So I'll take this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I really pride our programs, both the online MPH and the online biostats program, because the way we've modeled it is in such a way that you have weekly sync sessions, so real life sessions with your faculty member, right? So that is one way that you will always be connected to faculty. Also, in both programs, you are assigned a faculty advisor. So we, as faculty, me and Tao would meet with you, and soon Nithya would meet with you, a couple times during the semester. We would do one-on-one sessions with you. It's incumbent upon us to make sure you are successful in this program. We pride ourselves on being very high touch, and that you could reach out to us as well. Like, don't feel that you can't reach out to us. I was a postdoc. I'm very proud to have been part of Brown. I've been a postdoc, then became an assistant professor, then an associate professor, and then moved on to administration. And it was really because of just like the people at Brown. There are wonderful people at Brown, and that really want you to reach out to them. We will reach out to you too as faculty. So just know that you will get a faculty advisor, and you will have weekly sessions, weekly synchronous discussion sessions with each of your faculty members.
Yeah, and I just want to add that every course there are recorded lectures, so you will be doing your learning asynchronously, but we have weekly synchronous sessions where the faculty will be presenting. So it's not TAs or it's not other students, but you will be getting one-on-one time. I mean, not one-on-one really, but like the cohort will be getting time with the faculty who will be teaching that content. And the sync session serves as an opportunity to discuss the videos that were taught in that past week. And you also get to set up appointments with them. You get to go to their office hours. So I would say that you get a lot of access to the professors who teach in the program, as well as professors who are at the School of Public Health if you're interested in working with them on any of their projects.
I just wanted to talk a little bit more about being an online student at Brown. So being an online student, you do have access to resources at Brown, just like you would as an in-person or residential student. So as Jen and Nithya were talking about access to the professors and the faculty, you do have access to resources. You have access to the library, you have access to the writing center, you have a synchronous orientation at the beginning of the program. We'll go over all of the different resources that are available to you as a student. We have our graduate student council as well that our students are on. So it really is, even though the program is online and, sometimes can feel for students, if they're not in a classroom, very siloed a little bit, but they really, do have an opportunity for you to get as involved as you want to be, even though you are an online student. So I know Jen connected with some students for dinner recently out in California. So we do really try to have everybody just feel connected with the community as well. So if anyone has any additional questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A or the chat box. But otherwise, anyone have any closing remarks for everybody? Anything that we've missed that we want to share with our prospective students?
Just want to say that thank you for joining us and joining us today, and just know that the applications for both the biostats program as well as the online MPH programs are now open. So feel free to reach out to us via email. We are happy to talk to you on the phone, via Zoom, and give you any further information about the program.
All right. So with that, thank you for joining us, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you all.